Bengals fans, make sure you give me a follow over on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it these days, at StoneShields_. All of our Bengals Breakdown content will be posted to my Twitter page, as well as my own thoughts and opinions as well. And of course, when the beat writers put out any injury updates or roster moves or anything like that, you will find those on my page as well. So help me out trying to get to 500 followers here by the end of the year. So we got a couple of weeks in order to get that done. So help me out. Give me a follow over on Twitter at StoneShields_. What's going on, Bengals fans? Stone Shields on hand for another edition of Bengals Breakdown. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about what Colin Cowherd said about the Cincinnati Bengals. We did this video back on Halloween, I believe, and we're running it back here a couple of months later. Colin Cowherd actually had some really good things to say about the Cincinnati Bengals. And I really shouldn't say actually, because I think Colin Cowherd, as far as talking heads go, I think he's the best of the best. He truly is my favorite. And he, more often than not, hits the nail on the head with his points and analogies. Some really good stuff from Cowherd. So we're going to get into what exactly he said right here. And it is quite extensive. We got several quotes that we're going to work our way through. And then afterwards, I will give my own thoughts and opinions on what exactly he said on his show, The Herd, on Fox Sports. So let's get right into it. He said, "The reason we watch football is because we care about the outcomes. And it's not that way for a lot of sports. In the NBA, the bottom of the NBA is so large, you end up watching games sometimes because you just want to watch an individual star or two. You don't really care who wins the game. Where the NFL's got to be careful. It's become so quarterback-centric, and the rules are so quarterback-friendly. If you don't have a quarterback, you're a have-not. And Monday night felt like an NBA game. All I cared about was Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. That's the only reason I watched that game. These are all-time greats, but they are stuck in a shaky organization that frankly has suboptimal ownership and a front office." Very true. "They're the opposite of the Eagles. They don't take any risks. Now, it's not the first time ever a great quarterback has been stuck with the franchise that can't deliver for him. Andrew Luck, Carson Palmer, same ownership in Cincinnati, Matt Stafford. Joe Burrow is similar. This is why you have to contextualize championships. It's almost impossible to get a bad O-line to a conference championship. He got there and got within a play of winning the Super Bowl. The guy is absolutely incredible. Burrow is the only guy that can go into Arrowhead Stadium and I think gives Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo nightmares. So much about life is where you land. Mahomes got a great owner and a great coach. Josh Allen got a good owner and a good coach. That's why I always say you got to contextualize championships. Dan Marino had a great coach, not a great defense. 0 championships. Went on to talk about Elway, of course, and how he had to wait till the end of his career when he got a good coach for him to win championships. He said, here's quarterbacks that have led the league in passing touchdowns on teams with losing records in the past 50 years. Joe Burrow, Joe Montana, Drew Brees, and Joe Burrow. And I'm watching Jamar Chase, 14 catches, game-winning touchdown, and hasn't been paid yet. Not sure what you're waiting for, because they're not going to pay T. Higgins. They've already let safeties and Joe Mixon go. I don't know what they're waiting for. I think he'd have a contract in Philadelphia already. We'll get to my thoughts here in a second, but first, the pinned comment of today's video. Do you agree with Colin Cowherd in the comments that he made on his show, The Herd? Type Y for yes or N for no in the comment section. This is totally a Y for me, but I want to know what you guys think. Get down in the comment section. If that ad comes through on YouTube, that's totally fine. Down in the comments, sound off for us. Look, none of these guys are perfect, as I said at the top of the show, but I think Colin Cowherd is the best. He is absolutely my favorite. When I'm not working, if I have an off day, I throw on The Herd because it is just 3 hours of pure entertainment. Most of the time, it's really good points from Colin Cowherd and his buddy Jason McIntyre as well. And look, non-Bengals fans watch the game because of 9-1, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. We, as Bengals fans, me, and then most of you guys that watch our show here, we're always going to lock in because we're fans. But the outside, regular NFL fan, they're going to flip it on just to watch number 9 and number 1 go to battle. And the contextualization point here from Cowherd is absolutely spot on. This is what kind of has frustrated us as Bengals fans, because it seems like that guy right there, Joe Burrow, continually gets disrespected in the national media because, he hasn't won the big game yet, right? But it's kind of, I think you can compare it to Tom Brady, right? The national media loves Tom Brady. They love talking about Tom Brady and how he has, 7 championships. He's the greatest quarterback of all time, whatever. It's the fit, kind of what Colin Cowherd was saying. Imagine if Peyton Manning was in New England and had Belichick and Robert Kraft and just the stability of that organization. I think he's winning all those Super Bowls as well. Same with Joe Burrow. You put him in Kansas City with Andy Reid and their ownership and front office. Again, very thankful he's not there, but I think he's got all the trophies that Patrick Mahomes does as well. So I think that contextualization point is very, very critical and something that so many people don't pay attention to, and they just say, oh, this guy's won this many championships. We're going to give him the status for being the best quarterback or whatever. Joe Burrow is absolutely unbelievable. And to the point Cowherd was making about the Bengals organization, look, Cincinnati has to get this fixed, and they have to get this fixed right now. Because if they can't win with Joe Burrow, they are never going to be able to win football games. This is a once-in-a-generation type of talent that they have in Burrow, and they need to make some adjustments. Whether it's adjusting how they spend, or just simply getting better personnel and or coaches in the building. Look, we kind of talked about yesterday throwing back and forth, T. Higgins potentially making a return. I love T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a great receiver. I don't know if it's in your best interest as an organization to bring him back, because then you got to pay Joe Burrow as well, of course, and Jamar Chase, and then you don't have any money at that point. It's just very simple. You just run out to essentially give to your defense. I mean, there's definitely some hoops they could jump through to make it happen, but I think they just really have to do a better job of understanding when they have good players, keeping them if they're affordable, and then going out in free agency and being aggressive and getting guys to come in to help build their football team. Because we talked about on the show the other day, I'm ready to just blow this whole defense up. Well, if you do that, you can't just draft defense only and expect those guys as young guys and rookies to go in and start right away. No, you're going to have to make some splashy moves in free agency, or perhaps even make a trade. So the Bengals make one at the deadline with Khalil Herbert. Maybe you need to make a bigger one this offseason if you really want to take that next step as an organization and save Joe Burrow's prime. Because so many teams in the NFL, if they had him playing quarterback, would be competing for championships. And Cincinnati right now, of course, has a losing record. Troy Aikman also spoke about Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. He made some pretty powerful remarks when he was on a Dallas radio show, so we're going to be talking about that around the corner. But first, I want to give a shout-out to our friends over at Game Time. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Game Time Picks is the easiest way to find and buy tickets to live events. You got 2 more opportunities to go see the Cincinnati Bengals live in person at Paycor Stadium. Again, the Bengals not technically eliminated from playoffs. Last I looked, they had like a 3% chance or whatever the case may be. But regardless, get on over to Paycor Stadium. Have a good time. Get your tickets courtesy of our friends over at Game Time. My 2 favorite features on Game Time, the seat views. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy with Game Time. Secondly, the all-in pricing. Toggling this feature up front allows you to see your total up front, so you don't get hit with any of those surprise fees at checkout like some of those other ticketing companies can get you with. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, here's what John Machota, I could be saying that wrong, I apologize if so, covers the Cowboys for The Athletic. Here's what he put out on Twitter in regards to what Troy Aikman had to say about Joe Burrow in particular. Aikman went on 105.3 The Fan, the same radio station that Jerry Jones always hops on every week to give his thoughts and opinions on the Dallas Cowboys. Here's what Aikman said about Burrow. He said, he without question is my favorite quarterback in the NFL, maybe my favorite player of all time for that matter. I just love everything about him, especially in today's NFL where you just don't see these types of players. He's an old-school quarterback. He could have played in the 90s. He went on to say, I don't know if he's the best quarterback in the game today. Obviously, you've got Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, but Burrow throws with anticipation better than anybody currently playing the game. Really powerful to hear those kinds of things from Troy Aikman in the football world. Troy Aikman is kind of the creme de la creme, right? He's Mr. Monday Night Football. I have always been a big fan of Troy Aikman. I love hearing him call the games. And it's very obvious, though, that you can tell he loves Joe Burrow and he loves that old school mentality. Troy Aikman, when he was playing for the Dallas Cowboys, he was a guy that would stand in the pocket and take shots and keep going and keep getting up. And that's what you have here with Joe Burrow. And I think in a lot of ways, Burrow reminds Aikman a little bit of himself, and maybe that's why he likes him so much. But I think he's spot on. Again, I think people need to consider Joe Burrow as there's a real chance this guy's the best quarterback in the National Football League. Patty Mahomes, don't want to sit here and disrespect him. He is absolutely unbelievable. But take a look at these numbers, man. Joe Burrow is having a much better year than Patrick Mahomes. That's just reality. I know Mahomes has a couple of MVPs to his name. Burrow doesn't have those quite yet in his career. Hopefully he'll have his second Comeback Player of the Year award. But just the numbers alone and the eye test. I'm not a massive numbers guy. I do believe to some degree they can tell a story. I'm a big eye test guy. If you watch Kansas City and you watch Cincinnati, yeah, Kansas City's winning all their games and Cincinnati's not. It's very clear that Cincinnati has the better quarterback in this situation. Also want to talk about Josh Allen, who everybody seems to think is going to win the MVP. If it is not Saquon Barkley, also like Josh Allen. Also understand how good Josh Allen is and understand his greatness. Who's having a better year? Very clear. Joe Burrow. The numbers say Joe Burrow. You watch him play. Joe Burrow looks better than Josh Allen. You might not get the same crazy plays that you get from Josh Allen. Joe Burrow's not going to lower his shoulder and go running into a linebacker or flipping over top of one across the goal line into the end zone. I understand that. But I just think that sometimes he doesn't get the respect he deserves. And it's great to have a guy like Aikman, who garners so much respect from around the league, come out and make these comments. And, of course, most of us have the same agreement with Troy Aikman. Obviously, he's my favorite player as well, and very nearly could be approaching my favorite player of all time as well. Another opportunity for you guys to get interactive with our show here at Bengals Breakdown. Is Joe Burrow the best quarterback in the NFL? Type 1 for yes or 2 for no. I want to know what you guys think. Get down in the comment section and sound off for us. All right, we're going to keep talking about Joe Burrow here, and if you don't live under a rock, I am sure that you have heard that there was a break-in at Joe Burrow's house. So just kind of want to provide the latest details in regards to Joe Burrow and his house being burglarized. Here is what one of the 911 calls from the other night. Again, this took place during Monday Night Football. The burglary happened as Cincinnati was playing the Dallas Cowboys. This has been kind of a theme. We've seen this a couple of times. This happened to Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce during game days for them at some point this year as well. For whatever reason, there's these, they're believed to be kind of like a South American syndicate that's going after these professional athletes in their homes when they are at work playing in games. And Joe Burrow was the latest victim. Obviously, Joe Burrow is not just a Cincinnati star, but he is a global star, really, to be completely honest with you. So here, there was a girl staying at Joe Burrow's house looking after the house, and she called her mom, I would assume, and the mom was the first one to call 911. Here's what the call said. Said, someone is trying to break into the house right now. My daughter is there. This is Joe Burrow's house. She's staying there. He's at the football game. She's wondering what she should do, if she should be hiding or if she should go outside. She said someone was in the house. And then here's what the girl, 22-year-old Olivia Ponton, that's what all the reporting says that it is her, so I'm just going to operate off that same information that it is her as well. Her phone call, much shorter, but this is public knowledge, said someone broke into my house. It's like completely messed up. Now, this obviously is a very, very serious situation. I do think it's all right just to take 1 second to kind of chuckle about the fact that it was Olivia Ponton that was at Joe Burrow's house. But getting back to the serious part of this whole situation, look, this can't be happening. And it continues to happen here for these professional athletes. And obviously, going forward, I don't know if the security needs to get boosted or whatever the case may be. Apparently, there was a cop in the area, a deputy that was kind of patrolling the grounds, and this still happened. And look, these people that go in and break into these houses, it's just not random people. These are very skilled criminals, I guess is the best way to put it, that go in and take some stuff. So luckily, nobody was hurt in this situation. Joe Burrow is fine. The girl was fine as well. Obviously, there's probably some mental roadblocks to get over because it is a very, scarring situation, certainly mentally to get past. But as of now, everybody seems to be just fine. And more information, of course, is going to come out on this as we progress. The investigation is still open. Joe Burrow will speak to the media here. What's today? Tuesday. He'll speak tomorrow, but I can almost guarantee you. Today is Wednesday. I forgot it was a short week for the Bengals, having played on Monday night. But the next time Joe Burrow speaks to the media, he's going to be asked about this, but I can almost guarantee you that he's going to say it's an ongoing investigation and I can't comment. But over time, we'll find out more information about this whole situation. Before we get out of here, make sure you hit that sub button if you haven't done so already. If you are a diehard Bengals fan, you should be subscribed to our channel here at Bengals Breakdown. Hit that button, youtube.com/BengalsTV.